The key for us on the business model front is advertising, and one of the reasons we like to focus on particular channels is because in addition to being content partners, movie studios are also marketing partners, right? To reach the audiences in our channels, they spend money with us. So we oftentimes are working with them very early on, maybe 3 to 6 months before a movie is released, to start to build an audience. But when that big release is coming and the weekend is approaching, offer something that they can take over the site, they can take over the homepage, they can be integrated deeply into the site. Let everybody know that that movie you've been waiting for, that long anticipated movie, is on its way this weekend. So we both are marketing partners and content partners. In addition to that, many of the consumer brands out there, whether the CPGs or the quick serve restaurant companies, they're very interested in reaching consumers where they have their passion points. And since our mission is keeping consumers plugged into the entertainment passions they have, they can reach those consumers through movies, through television that's featured on our site. Again, we don't feature the whole movie or the whole show, right? It's about knowing what's going on in the industry. In a sense, this is the best way to reach a consumer through advertising in and around a movie, since you can't actually advertise in a commercial in the movie. Clearly, the way that consumer brands have been marketing their companies over the past, their products over the past years, has been through video. It's been through television primarily, the commercial break. What's happening with online videos, we're seeing for the first time a real movement of the brands from the television space to the online video space. And in doing so, of course, the first thing is to take the simple approach, which is you take what you have, what you know works, take the commercial break and bring it to the online video space. And we are running pre-rolls, and we are running different ways of trying to present that message. The impact, the sight, sound, and motion of commercials is just so powerful. It is almost the only way that you can effectively brand advertise. Now that we have video online, you can see the pathway for brands to come from television to the online video space. But beyond that, because we're also a social media marketplace, you have to figure out a way not just to force consumers to watch your ads, but also to let them choose to watch your ads. So with many of the companies, we're putting together content packages. If it's a studio or movie studio, for example, we can use their content from the movie. If it's a brand that doesn't have video content, we can oftentimes assemble packages of content that include that are compelling to the consumers and put the brand around it. But how do you get that brand message using video to integrate it into our site? Can you integrate it into our homepage? Can we create a channel just for you? Can we get a package of content that targets your audience so that you can integrate your brand into that with your video message? Much more effective oftentimes than just forcing someone to watch a commercial break. It's a great starting place, but it's not really where we think it's going to end up. It's going to be the combination of both, and how do you integrate more deeply. So one of the advantages we deliver for advertisers is an audience that really is passionate about the content, about the entertainment properties that we're focused on, and that has greater value than if you go to a broad-based site. So oftentimes you'll see that a broader-based site will have more audience in theory, right? In general, they have lots and lots of people coming through, but they're just passerbys. What happens in a site like ours is we get the people that really matter, the opinion leaders, the influencers. We like to think of them as the people who drive entertainment decisions for others, because they're socially connected, because they're very passionate about the topic. What happens is that they come to learn about movies. They also, of course, play video games, watch television, listen to music, like sports. The entertainment driver cares about all content, but really dives into the various channels and then influences others. The value we bring is not through scale, but by having the right particular audience, and you get that by having depth, by having focus. So it really comes back where, how do you compete against scale? You just have to be much better at building something valuable for an audience, and then having the opinion leaders within that audience, the entertainment drivers. In terms of where we're heading as a company, just recently we did announce Metacafe Movies, which shows how we're focusing on particular entertainment channels. We've hired a team to pursue that, from Netflix, from Rotten Tomatoes, companies that already have pedigree in the movie space, but now trying to apply online video to that space. But we've already begun work on our video games channel, and there's already 5 channels being featured on our site. So beyond movies and video games, we have television, sports, and music, and we'll be expanding over the course of the coming months and years into those. And of course, the goal is, how do you go deeper? How do you create more richness in every one of the verticals, so the consumer can come to know our brand as the one that gives you an update, keeps you plugged into what's happening in the entertainment world. In terms of Metacafe's history, it's been a fun ride for us. Obviously, the online video marketplace has been very, very competitive, with giant players and new players, startups coming in all the time. What's been fun about Metacafe is that we've always been able to stay ahead of the curve. So in the early days, sure, we were competing with companies like YouTube and others, trying to just get as much content and audience as possible, and we did great there. We got to 50 million uniques on a worldwide basis, about 15 million here in the United States. But we quickly pivoted there to a professional premium content orientation and really started to drive our business model, especially when the economic downturn occurred. And what we're doing now is focusing on the particular channels, the movies, the video games, etc. You know, how do we build depth there? So we've been able to really navigate the company in a relatively short time from a YouTube competitor to a premium professional position to a particular channel, and it's been fun to see how we navigate the industry in that capacity and attract more viewers that way, attract more advertisers, and really build the business.